Welcome to my channel. Today we will look at a certain question in chemistry, effects of 2, which is from the tutorial sheet. Okay, now question number 1 is saying a 35.3 grams of element M is reacted with N, which is nitrogen, to produce 43.5 grams of compound MN. Okay, so what they are telling us is that there was a reaction between element M and nitrogen, and they produced a substance which look like this one, and they are saying this substance had a mass which is 43.5 grams, and they are saying element M had a mass of 35.3 grams. Now, the question further reads, what is, number 1, the molar mass of the element? So they want us to calculate the molar mass, which is the mixture of this element, which is M here. Number 2, they want the name of the element. Okay, now for us to solve this question, it is just simple and straightforward. We know that there is a law of conservation of matter. The law of conservation of matter states that the amount of reactants is equal to the amount of products, which means if M, which is 35.3 grams, was reacted with nitrogen to produce this, what does this mean? It means that the mass of nitrogen, the mass of element M, plus the mass of nitrogen is the one which produced this. In this case, since we have the mass of M, then for us to know the mass of nitrogen, we can just subtract M from this total, and what will remain is the value of nitrogen. But why are we calculating the mass of nitrogen when we are looking for the mixture of M? Okay, we are calculating the mass of nitrogen so that we know the number of moles of nitrogen. After knowing the number of moles of nitrogen, then we can go and know the number of moles of M. Since we have the mass, then we know that number of moles is equal to mass over mixture. If we have number of moles for element M and we have the mass for element M, then it is possible for us to calculate the mixture. Okay, now what are we going to do? Simple. We will say, since the total mass of these two elements is 43.5, we will say 43.5 grams minus 35.3 grams, which is giving us, so okay, let me just do the calculations. Okay, which is giving us 8.2 grams. 8.2 grams. So this is the mass of what? Nitrogen. Since we have known the mass for nitrogen, then we will go ahead and solve the number of moles of nitrogen. We know that number of moles is equal to mass over mixture. So our mass for nitrogen is 8.2 grams over the mixture for nitrogen, which is 14.01 gram per mole. So this gram and this gram will go away. We'll cancel, then we'll remain with number of moles, which is giving us what? 0.5857142857 moles. Okay, now after knowing the number of moles for nitrogen, which is here, we have known the number of moles for nitrogen, then we will say, what is the relationship between N and M? N and M. So we know that according to this ratio, when there are two molecules of nitrogen, or when there are two elements of nitrogen, there should be this number of elements for M, which means this is a ratio. So the ratio between M to N is 3 to 2. Now, if you check, you can see that this side we have 0.58. I'll just put a 6 here. to cut it short. More, then this one we don't know, so we cross multiply, and we'll have x which is equal to 3 times 0.586 more divided by the 2 here, and x will be equal to, what will be our x? Okay, so our x is 0.878571428 moles. So these are the moles of M. Since we have known the number of moles for element M, then it is possible for us to know the molar mass, which is the Mr. So we will say number of moles is equals to mass over the Mr. We are looking for the Mr. So we'll say Mr. is equals to mass over number of moles, in which Mr. will be equal to the mass. So we are given the mass for element M, which is 35.3 grams. So 35.3 grams divided by the number of moles, which is 0.878 moles. Then Mr. will be equal to, what do we get? Okay, so that is 40.2 grams. Okay, so when we check on the periodic table, we find that the element which has 40.2 grams, although it is not too accurate because of the round-offs that we are doing here. We are rounding off the values, so we cannot. So when we check from the periodic table, we find that calcium is the one which has 40. Therefore, we can say the element M is calcium.